So it's day 11 of the U.S. attacks in Iran, and the pressure is mounting on the administration to give a timeline of how long these strikes are going to continue. And you know who didn't really clear things up in a press conference yesterday? Take a look.
On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to...
soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are two levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But two levels of leadership are gone.
You've said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be prepared
Well, I think
for
you could
this war
say
to
it
last
both.
for?
Oh, God.
Did he just say it's both?
Yeah.
Okay.
You speak with forked tongue.
Like Snake. Does it seem like we're going to be getting... So what does this tell you? This is mixed messages, and we're used to that, but what is your gut feel?
I feel like we're living in the reign of terror. Am I the only one here to remember the French Revolution? I mean, I really feel like every day I wake up and he has created more chaos, more misery around the world. The economy is going down the toilet. Gas prices are going through the roof. World economies are suffering. And we're in the middle of this, and I feel like we're pretty much helpless to do anything because the Republican Party will not stand up to this fall. That's all.
That's all. I mean, it's something, to your point, Whoopi, you know, I've said it before, it's very easy to get into a war, very hard to get out of one. And we know that. And I don't think he has a plan. I don't even think he has concepts of a plan at this point. And I think what's... Yeah, like healthcare.
So it's that.
Well, I mean, the concepts of a plan on how to get out of Iran. He's saying there is no leader. Actually, the son of the person that used to be the leader is considered far more right, is now in charge. And I think these mixed messages really are going to ultimately affect the American people because it is estimated that this war that we started is costing the American people between $1 and $2 billion a day. And they're estimating that if it goes on for as long as, let's say, some of the other wars, about 40 days, 43 days, it could cost the American people more than $200 billion. To eradicate homelessness in this country, it would only cost $20 billion. So while using this money to wage a war, which is a regime change war, which he said he wouldn't do it, the people that voted for him wanted America first, put America first, and homelessness. Why are gas prices in California $8 a gallon?
It's going up.
$8 a gallon.
That's going up.
That's right. Yeah, I think the hard part is this, like, I don't know how it ends or what that looks like, what success is, because I know a lot of the talk is around things like nuclear powers and what they can eliminate, but when it comes to the power structure there, you knock one off, another one comes up, and sometimes they're more indoctrinated, they're worse, and that's the case with this son. So I don't know how you end that. You cannot play this endlessly, and I do agree, Sonny, that it breaks your heart when you look at the whirlwind of international news, although I do believe there are some geopolitical moves that are beyond my grasp. It does pain me to think of how many people are suffering in this country just for their health care, to pay off a bill. You watch someone like James Vanderbeek, who just passed, someone who had a very successful life, barely had money at the end because of payments on a cancer that so many of us have, that's relatable. So I think health, food, it is breaking my heart that there is no relief on the people here, and probably the majority of people that voted him in to the office.
And there's a whole, you know, we have reserves for this. We have reserves. Where are they? Where is our oil reserve? Yeah, for gas. When gas gets too much, they bust out the reserves and it brings the price down. So where are the reserves? Where is that? Where is anything that he said other than a lot of misery, a lot of pain for people? His people in particular.
Yes, the people that voted for him.
The people who voted for him are feeling it.
I think they're turning a little bit.
I think,
absolutely, and he's trying to make it sound like it's better than what it is by calling it an excursion. You know, an excursion is a pleasant trip with Cabana boys and drinks. You know, this ain't that. This is war. This is war. This is not This is not a 3-hour tour on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
No. This is war.
People are dying.
That's right. So what are we going to call it now? The Department of Excursion?
Yeah.
So it's no longer Department of War. But I think, like you talked about gas being $8. I live in Los Angeles. Last time gas was that high, I think, was over COVID.
Wow.
And it takes hundreds of dollars to fill up your tank, especially if you got a freeway drive.
Yes.
And if you're a truck driver or you run a certain type of company. And I think that you're right, Joy, that there are certain branches of the Republican Party that really don't like what's going on.
I hope
But
so.
I think they're fearful.
What are they afraid of? He's got his popularity is dropping. What are
Not
they
to
afraid?
his base. Not
Well,
to his base.
but there's more than a base that's
the
gonna vote.
Republican base is about maybe 35, 45% of the entire electorate. If he has 90% of that, then he feels like he's doing good.
Yeah, but he still can't win with that.
No, but what happens is, what I think needs to happen, right-thinking Americans need to go to the poll over and over and over again to change the House and the Senate. And because they now have control over all 3 branches of government. That's right. So now you got to get back the control over the branches of government. And the Supreme Court has got to stop rubber stamping everything for this dude and have a backbone.
No, good luck with that.
Well, I mean, it's just nutty as hell. It's nutty as hell.
Yeah.
And you're right. Every day is something new. And it's, you know, I was thinking about it yesterday because I thought, well, okay, why haven't we been talking about Savannah Guthrie and what's going on there? Why haven't we not been why have we not been talking about the Epstein files? Because that's still there. This is meant to get us so worked up that we are unable to see anything else.
It's a very wag the dog feeling. Very wag the dog feeling.